Hello and welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment, and today we're going back in the impossible section as we're going to talk about how the Los Angeles Rams can win Super Bowl 52. Now, not completely impossible, it can happen, but I wouldn't bet on it. But we're still going to talk about it as we will for each and every team. How can the LA Rams win Super Bowl 52 and succeed in 2017? Three keys. Let's start with key number one. And as I normally do, we're going to talk about the quarterback. Jared Goff has to be good, okay? And at least decently good. He doesn't have to be a top 10 quarterback to me, not a top 5 quarterback to me, maybe not even top 15, but top 20, yeah, at least top 20. Now, last year, he was awful. Let's call it what it is. You can blame the offensive line. You can blame the receivers. You can blame the coaching staff. I don't care. He was awful. Okay, but with that said, when I look back on the Jared Goff in college, there are things to like there. He is a guy that in college was very accurate when delivering the ball, especially in the short to intermediate range. A guy that made quick decisions. A guy that made good decisions. In the NFL, he was none of that. So he needs to improve there. Now you have a new head coach coming in former Washington Redskins offensive coordinator Sean McVay. This guy should add a nice dimension to your offense and improve it vastly, and you hope so. And you hope he can get a lot more out of Jared Goff. We don't want to have another quarterback bust on our hands from the #1 overall pick in NFL draft history, but right now that is where Jared Goff is trending. Again, let's just call it what it is. I'm not calling him a bust. That's where he's trending. Can Sean McVay save his career? I think he could. Again, Blake Bortles is a guy that I look back on that draft. He was my #2 quarterback behind Carson Wentz. I like Wentz better. You can go back and fact check me on that. I'm not Donald Trump. You can go back and check me on that. So, I like Goff's potential, but he's going to have to improve his second year. And how can that happen? I look at the receiving core, and that leads me into point number 2. The receiving core has to be pretty good. Now, this is a stretch right now. As I look at this receiving core, and I don't know how it's going to be good. Okay, I look at this receiving core right now. You're looking at a bunch of guys that either haven't done anything or have been given opportunities to do something and have failed miserably. We start with Robert Woods, okay, the former wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills, who the LA Rams brought in on a contract of, I want to say, 5 years, $40 million. This guy isn't good, okay? I know a lot of you Rams fans have been talking in your little forum saying, oh, Robert Woods, this guy's going to be a nice #1 receiver for us. Ooh, we like Robert Woods. He's not good. Last year, Sammy Watkins was injured. The Bills begged Robert Woods to be good for them. He wasn't able to get open consistently, wasn't able to catch the football consistently. Route running, not great. Hands, not great. He's not great. That's just what it is. As a #2, I don't think he's great. I think he's maybe an average to below average #2 wide receiver. I don't love that. Tavon Austin hasn't even surpassed 550 receiving yards, going on his 4th or 5th season now in the NFL. He can't run a route with a depth of more than 25 yards to save his life. It's nothing but screens, slants, and the occasional, I don't even know, maybe a curl if he's lucky, maybe a corner strike. That's pretty much it. So it's bad when it comes to Tavon Austin right now. He needs to improve tremendously, and the Rams are looking to get him the ball down the field, have him playing a Deshaun Jackson role. Good luck with that, because he has been anything but that thus far in his NFL career. They drafted Cooper Kupp, the wide receiver out of Eastern Washington, in the 3rd round. This is a nice receiver, okay, nice guy that really, I project him in the slot in the NFL, but perhaps he can move outside and make an impact there. And he turned some heads in OTAs and in rookie mini camps. So you like his potential, but is he going to be a #1? I'm not sure. But someone's going to have to solidify himself in this wide receiving core. And look at the tight ends as well. Let's include them in this discussion. A lot of unproven guys right now. I'm not sure. Is Lance Kendrick still on the team? I don't know. Either way, he hasn't been doing anything. You have Tyler Higbee, who you drafted last year. Tamar Kenway, who you drafted last year. Neither of them impressed rookie year. Higbee still has potential, but he didn't do anything his rookie year. You drafted Gerald Everett. Okay, the tight end you drafted in the second round. I like his potential out of South Alabama. He is going to have to make an impact, especially when we're tying into key number one, Jared Goff becoming good. He's only going to become good if this receiving core can be decently good or pretty good. The overall passing game has to improve tremendously for the LA Rams. And then key number three, and I cheated a little bit here because I have to stretch when I'm talking about the Rams because really they have to improve at all phases of the game. It's pretty ridiculous right now with the Rams. Although I think they will improve next year. Let me just say that. So number three, I cheated a little bit, and I went with I tied some things together. I say both Todd Gurley and the defense have to have a resurgence. So let's start with Todd Gurley. Let's call it what it is. Again, we have to be honest here, Rams fans. Todd Gurley was awful last year. Awful. Okay. Yes, the offensive line was bad, but dog, anytime a running back has 3.2 yards per carry, there are some fingers that need to be pointed at the running back. Because I've never heard of a running back until Todd Gurley that has ran for 3.2 yards per carry. And I'm sure I could go back and I could find one. And I think this year Adrian Peterson was awful, so he was pretty close. But still, 3.2 yards per carry. You give him the ball on first down, second down, third down, you won't get a first down. On average, that concerns the hell out of me 1 year after he ran for either 4.6 or 4.8 yards per carry and was a freaking beast in his rookie season, running for 1,100 yards in 13 games. What the hell changed? The offensive line changed a little bit, but not much. You still had Greg Robinson's dumbass on one side. You still had Rob Havenstein. You still had Saffold and John Sullivan and those guys in the middle. What the hell changed? They were worse, yes. Were they that much worse? Were they worse enough to where Todd Gurley averages 1.4 less yards per carry? No. He wasn't great. He needs to get his head on straight, go back to his rookie form. And then the defense. They need to have a resurgence. Now they have one new piece in Connor Barwin. They have a couple new pieces, but he's the biggest piece, the biggest new piece to me, Connor Barwin. He needs to have an individual resurgence. This is a guy that had I want to say 14 sack season 2 seasons ago, 2014 NFL season. He needs to go 10 plus sack again. Robert Quinn, same story. This is a guy that had 19 sacks a couple years ago. Last year, couldn't really stay healthy at all, and then only put up, I want to say about 6. He needs to have 10 plus. The secondary is nice. Trumaine Johnson, LaMarcus Joyner, and some other guys. I think they're fine. Linebacker core, Alec Ogletree, Mark Barron, who plays safety, but now also comes down and plays linebacker a lot. The defense could be freaking good. And of course, how could I forget Aaron Donald in the middle of this defensive line? They have to have a resurgence. They have to go back to being a top 5 defense in the league. Now, if I remember correctly, last year they were top 10 in terms of yards allowed, least amount of yards allowed, so I like that. But they weren't able to turn the ball over enough. And they also weren't able to get enough sacks. So they need to improve upon both of those categories to me. And I look at some individual performances in Robert Quinn and Connor Barwin and saying, hey, these two need to have a resurgence, and that should help the overall defense have a resurgence. They got after the quarterback. They caused interceptions. They allowed Jared Goff, as some people call him Jared Goof, to improve offensively, getting the ball more, getting the ball in his hands, the receiving core being good, Todd Gurley being good. That's what happened. So really, I stringed a lot together here, okay? I stringed together the quarterback play, the wide receivers, the running back, and the defense. But literally, for the Rams to win the Super Bowl, that's what's going to have to happen. All these phases are going to have to be working well right out of the bat. So really, there's no way, okay? Even though I like to talk about them being a chance for anything, I think the Rams are the team. I'd say the 49ers, the Browns literally have no chance. I can see the Bears doing it. I can see the Jaguars doing it. I could see almost every other team in the NFL doing it other than those three. I think you're with them, but with that said, I do expect the Rams to improve. But it's such a clear rebuilding effort. You just won't be able to win a Super Bowl offensively with Jared Goff, Todd Gurley, Tavon Austin, Cooper Kupp, Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee, Tamara Hemingway, Greg Robinson, and all these young players right now. They have no idea how to win, no clue in the world. But you sign Andrew Whitworth, who's going to add some championship mentality to your team, although he's never won, but he's been to the playoffs at least. He's going to add a nice aspect. He's going to help your offensive line. Greg Robinson moving to the right tackle position. There are things to like about this Rams team, and I expect them to improve. But Super Bowl, all of these things are going to have to happen that I aforementioned. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the LA Rams and how they can win Super Bowl 52. And with your thoughts on this video, comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. This has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.